It's not just another day in your life. Things are changing for the better. At Comcast, we see those changes, and we're thinking about how we use technology today to live, work, learn, and play. And we're building for the future now, so we're better prepared for the wants and needs of tomorrow. That's why Comcast is rolling out multi-gig internet speeds to more than 50 million homes and businesses before the end of 2025, making our already industry-leading network even faster, smarter, greener, and more reliable. Over the decades, Comcast has been your partner, working hard to serve your community, and will continue to be your partner. We're expanding our gigabits so you can enjoy the tiny bits that matter most.
Finally tired of doing the same things over and over again, expecting different results? Well, this show is going to help you change your life for the better. Strap on your seatbelt and navigate this roller coaster we call life with human potential expert and best-selling author Dr. Verna Price. Each week, Dr. Verna blesses you with her virtues to live your best life so you can be the best you that you can be.
Welcome back to Dr. Verna's Virtues. For those of you who are regulars, it is so good to see you again. As most of you know, I take July for a time of rest and relaxation to get re-energized. But this summer, I actually took 2 months. I took the month of June and traveled to the continent of Africa and took my Girls Taking Action program to 3 different countries. And it was amazing. I'll tell you more about that in a minute. And for those of you who are brand new, my name is Dr. Verna Cornelia Price, and it's great to have you on this podcast and listen in, learn, lean in, and make a decision about who you want to be. All right. So we always start out with a affirmation. So we're going to go ahead and start with our affirmation, and we'll start with my power is, because we're going to talk a little bit about that today. My power is my ability to think a new positive thought, to see a new positive vision, to speak new positive words, to write new positive goals, and do something new and positive with my life, with my family, with my community, and with my world by taking a new positive action step. So take that new positive action step. Of course, I'm not standing up and kind of in my chair rolling toward the screen, but if you're standing up somewhere, take an action step. So we took off, and myself, my husband, our children, 3 or 4 of our children took off, and we went with another team, another family. There were 10 of us on our team, and we went to do work in Kenya, Kisumu, Kenya, and then also in Accra, and then also in Kumasi, Ghana, and then also in Monrovia, Liberia. And we actually worked in a smaller town right there called Lower Johnsonville. So how that worked basically is that we actually went there to teach teachers, teach our leaders there how to do our Girls Taking Action curriculum. For those of you who know me, I'm the founder of Girls Taking Action. I wrote the curriculum for Girls Taking Action to empower and mentor girls to find their power, find their voice in this world, and create positive change. And so that program has expanded globally. And so in June, I took the month of June to travel to these 3 countries, and it was nothing short of amazing. It was transformational. I have so many stories that I have to share about that trip. For those of you who have not ever stepped foot on the continent of Africa, any country, just choose one. Just get out to just go travel. Get your passport. Go and see other people's other communities. And for me, of course, the continent of Africa is very, very, very special because I got to go to Ghana, and I'm going to talk a little bit in a later podcast about my experience in Cape Coast and going to the slave dungeons where my own people were shipped out of and sent out of their own country, bond, chained, sent across the oceans to become slaves in the Caribbean to become slaves in America. So it was very, very personal for me. I learned a lot, and I'll be sharing a little bit more about that experience in another podcast. But for this podcast, what came to me is, and this is once again, I'm fresh coming from Africa. Okay. So I have seen a lot. I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of situations. I have seen a lot of brilliance. I have seen a lot of pain. I have seen a lot of need. I have seen a lot of creativity and innovation and beauty and music. I've seen a lot. And I wanted to think about our young people that I talked to who had to go through, so many of them have had to go through so many things. And we were in villages, we were in small towns, we were in places where, there is no Starbucks, there's no Caribou, there's no, Target, Walmart, there's no, as a matter of fact, for some of our children, they have so little. And one of the things that struck me is that they're so hungry for education. And there's no school bus. You walk to school, and if you cannot get to school, you just don't get to go to school. And so the fact that our children here in the US, if you listen to me and you're in the USA, we provide education for our children. It's provided for them. Kindergarten through 12th grade, education just sits there and calls their name. Whereas in other countries, that's not always the case. And in the countries where I visited, in the villages where I visited, education was a prime thing. It was something that the children longed for. They longed to go to high school, but you can only go to high school if you can actually afford to pay to go to high school. So for my students, my girls who are in my program in those villages, in those places, they were so hungry to learn. They were so happy to be a part of Girls Taking Action, and they did everything that they could possibly do to get there and to make it happen and to be a part of the work. And what came to me for this podcast is what are you waiting for, right? What exactly are you waiting for? And when you think about everything you have access to, and for those of you, some of you may say, well, Dr. Verna, you don't know my life. I don't have very much. Oh, you probably do. You probably do. Just do an assessment of what you have access to. Can you get on a bus? Yeah. You could probably, get a bus pass from somewhere. If you can't get a bus pass from somewhere, you could probably get some help from a social agency. You could probably work with an organization like mine, the Power of People, to get a bus pass, right? Did you wake up this morning? Yeah. Were you able to have a meal, at least one meal? Probably, right? Did you get offered education when you were going, through school? Did you have a school close to you? Could you go to school? Probably. So I just want you to think about, because it struck me too. It struck me. I had to really think through, am I making excuses for the things that I already have access to? And here it is that these things are just waiting for me, like just waiting for me. Like I have a laptop. Do you know how amazing that is? Do you know how blessed you are to actually even be listening to this podcast? You probably on a laptop, or you have a cell phone, or you have a desktop at work. You have access to the world just through a website, through internet. That's amazing. And there's so much of it that as I learned, as I traveled, I thought, there's so much access that I have that I am simply not making use of. I'm making an excuse for the very access that's looking at me. So I decided that I got to make some choices. Right? You have to make some choices regardless of what. And I experienced people who had the most humble living situations, but they had decided on some things. They'd chosen some things. The first thing they chose was, what's going to be your attitude? Like, you get to choose your attitude. Like, regardless of what your situation is, what is your attitude about that? And do you have an attitude? Do you have a losing attitude? Like you've already lost before you even start? Or do you have a winning attitude? Like no matter what, today is going to be a winner for me. Today I'm a winner and I'm going to win today. Is that the kind of attitude you have? What kind of mindset do you have? You know, I mean, I witnessed people children who had to walk down long roads, rocky dirt roads to get to school. And here they were, big smiles, happy to be there, thankful for the opportunity, so thankful. And here sometimes, as a founder of Girls Taking Action, sometimes I walk into our public schools and our children don't even want to be there. They don't want to lift a pencil. They don't want to pay attention. They don't want to. And I think to myself, oh my, to have the opportunity. So here's my question. What do you have access to right now? No one's keeping you from it. No one's telling you can't do it. You already have access to it. What do you have access to right now that you can use to propel your life and to do what it is that God has given you to do on this earth? What do you have access to? I don't know the answer to that question, but you do. And I can tell you that every last one of us have access to something. You have access to how you think, how you feel, how you vision. You have access. So I want you to just think about that. What do you have access to? All right. We'll see you next week. More to come. We'll talk to you soon. Affirmation, I can change my life. And I was born to win. All right. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Get caught up on previous episodes of Dr. Verna's Virtues at ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com.
You know Shaletta makes you laugh, but did you know Shaletta Brundage can also make you think and boost your business? Media personality, activist, and comedian Shaletta Brundage founded Shaletta Makes Me Laugh to celebrate and share the best of Black culture. It's a podcasting platform. You can download 10 weekly podcasts hosted by African American subject experts at ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com is also a production house, creating broadcast quality commercial content. And Shaletta and her team of storytellers create powerful promotional campaigns to get businesses the brand awareness they're looking for. Some of Minnesota's top businesses trust Shaletta, and you can too. Get out the word about your events and products and get in front of communities of color with ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com. She's got the power to help your business.
In this job, I challenge myself and grow.
At Lutheran Social Service of Minnesota, Kelly makes a difference.
We see people, not disabilities. I'm here for them.
Lutheran Social Service is now hiring direct support professionals to work in our homes and empower people in our community. The work is rewarding, and so are the benefits. Full-time direct support professionals receive medical, dental, and vision plans, matched retirement savings, paid time off, and more.
LSS is a great organization. They recognize my talents and my desire to grow.
Kelly has advanced to a job as a training specialist, working with new employees to prepare them to support people with disabilities.
We're neighbors helping neighbors. So do work that matters. Grow with us.
Find your meaningful career at Lutheran Social Service, named a top workplace by employees. Learn more at lssmn.org/immediate openings. Ask about the hiring bonus. You might be eligible for up to $2,000.
If you live in an older home, it may contain lead-based paint on walls, woodwork, and windows. Even more bad news, lead exposure can be dangerous to young children and impact their brain development. And now, the good news. Hennepin County will fix lead hazards in your home at no cost to you.
We were worried because of the paint in the windows in the bedroom. They were peeling and chipping, and we know that when paint peels and chips and it looks a certain way, that's possibly lead. We were worried for our children more so than anything.
Eligible homes can qualify for up to $15,000 in upgrades. You may even qualify for new energy-efficient windows. Don't worry, Hennepin County has a trusted list of pre-approved contractors. You won't even have to find companies with correct licenses or certifications.
I've just done a test and it's positive. So we know that this is lead-based paint, and then we know it's a hazard because it's creating dust every time this window moves and opens. And if you look in here, that's just full of lead paint chips.
You won't have to stay with your cousin while you're getting the lead out. Hennepin County even pays for you and your family to stay in a hotel while the work is underway. The last good news is how easy it is to apply. Just go to hennepin.us/lead control to get started.
I'm really happy with the program. We can go to bed knowing that our children are safe.
That's hennepin.us/lead control. Tell your friends about it.